Do you ever avoid commitment out of the fear that you'll somehow be tied down to the decision you made?
Whether it's in committing to a relationship or a business idea, it can be a massive barrier to overcome. And while most other YouTube videos will talk about this in a relationship context, I wanted to share with you a lesson that I learned in a totally different context altogether.
Because sometimes the most life-changing insights often come from where you least expect them to.
Hey friends, Kevin here. I recently refocused my YouTube channel on the mission of trying to help us heal our insecurities so that we can finally be the people that we really want to be. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. So, the fear of commitment. When I was trying to decide the focus of my YouTube channel, I kept freaking myself out because I thought I would be limiting the types of content that I would be able to make.
The mental image I kept playing in my head was this analogy of painting myself into a corner. And that thought honestly just drove me crazy. It kept me awake at night on so many occasions and felt like every step forward meant that I would be further constraining my future freedom.
And it took a long time for me to finally wrap my head around what was going on. The shift in mindset that made all the difference for me is this: changing the mental analogy that I use to think about commitment altogether.
See, instead of seeing this as painting myself into a corner, I now think about it with what I call my tank analogy.
You know how in some video games you have your super cool decked out vehicle that you upgrade throughout the course of the game? So in my head, I picture this hover tank sort of thingy with these cool armor plates and this fat cannon on top. I choose to see building up my YouTube channel, or making any critical decision for that matter, as building up my tank. Adding better thrusters, cooler armor, bigger cannons. And I'm realizing now that as I build up this YouTube channel here with you all, I'm creating a bigger tank that I can now focus and point at any issue that I care about, and thus be able to make a bigger impact than I ever was able to do before.
At the core, this shift in mindset boils down to seeing the positives rather than just fixating on the negatives. With the old analogy of painting myself into a corner, I was only looking at the downsides, only staring at what could possibly go wrong.
When we give our brains a reason to fear, they hyper-fixate on this because that's what they're designed to do, to keep us safe. And pretty soon, that's all you can see, just downside. But that's so far from the whole picture. So if you've been having cold feet about jumping into a relationship or business venture or any new decision, perhaps it's time to remind yourself of how much upside there is on the other side of that decision to commit. Because if you're anything like me, indecision has already stolen far more from us than commitment ever will. I hope you found this video helpful and somewhat of an encouragement if you're going through similar circumstances. Like I said before, my goal here is I'm trying to help us overcome our insecurities because it keeps us from becoming the people that we really want to be. So yeah, if you resonate at all with any of this, please consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell notification icon to be a part of this family. And with that, check out some of these other videos. Wishing you all the best, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you next time.